With all the Indians for the end. Give it up for Jeff Will.
Marion, how are you doing tonight? Woo! Closing out the show, still energy in the room? Right on, love it, love it. Thank you guys for being here. Final open mic of 2025. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I was reflecting a little bit on my childhood. And I remember as a kid, the first time I had to use an inhaler within memory, my dad looked at me and he's like, this feels nostalgic. And I was like, what's that? He was like, you using an inhaler, you used to have to use one as a baby. And I was like, a baby? How would I even use an inhaler? And apparently there was a full mask apparatus and they had to squeeze it for you. And then when I got a little bit older, when I was about 1.5, I could do it on my own. And my dad was like, the most annoying thing is, you found out as a baby, when you were a toddler and started walking, you found out where we hid the good inhaler. I was like, Dad, why did we have a good inhaler? Because that implies there was a bad inhaler. He's like, well, you were such a shit, you liked just using them, so we gave you an empty inhaler to use on your own, and then when you really needed it, we would give you the good inhaler. And then I was starting to think about it a little more. I'm like, didn't you guys smoke in the house? They were like, it was the 90s. Settle down, settle down. We didn't know. I'm like, your kid's choking. You need to give him an inhaler, a full apparatus so it'll fit properly.
There you go.
Smoke hanging out your mouth? Yeah, exactly. You're going to have to inhale. Parents are assholes, man. I was also reflecting on this. My dad had the high Indian cheekbones, and so did my mom. How the hell did I end up with a fat face? No wonder people call me a pretendian. I actually found out all pretendians claim the same nation. All pretendians come from the same nation. It's imagination. These fucking pretendians, let me tell you. My coworker outed himself accidentally right at Christmas break. We were doing the Santa gift exchange, and he gave me realistic human feet slippers with toe holes that your toes fit into, and they look like real, like your bare feet. So the I thought was a funny comment. I took a photo and I was like, look, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans for my feet. I'll call it Only Feet. And he goes, that exists. Kind of gross, kind of gross. And then he comes over later and he's like, I just wanted to tell you guys, Only Feet is actually a scam. You're gonna want to use Feet Finder. That's the one. What did I ever say to this guy that made him think I have a foot fetish? What the hell? You know what he told me? He's like, well, it looks like you shaved yours. I'm like, hold on, have you been admiring my feet? You fucking weird. I put this in our work group chat because I didn't want him to like one day find out, hey, I've been doing a joke about you for about 2 weeks. He says it's because I sit at my desk, like my professional workplace, I sit there barefoot, and I was like, touche. Touche, my man. December 24th, 2025 was the 10-year anniversary of my mom being passed away. That's sad, but would it have been nice though when guys ask me for her number now, I get to say plot 453. That's little. I fucked up the setup too. God damn it. I went to one of those artisan brunch places just on the weekend there. They had an interesting thing. They had an open-faced sandwich. You guys had an open-faced sandwich? It's not a fucking sandwich. Okay, you put a piece of bread, you fried an egg, and you sprinkle whatever green shit to make it look the color. You know what I mean? You didn't sandwich. You didn't sandwich it. And then I paid double. Fuck your artisan sandwich. It's like I also learned an idiom. It's like a fancy saying that we all know within our minds. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. An ellipsis is when you say half of it. And the rest of the saying is implied. So when you're like, when in Rome, you're only saying half it. Open-faced sandwiches are the ellipsis of sandwiches, man. You can't just quit. Could you imagine if I was up here just saying half the punchlines? Like, so my mom died. My mom died. You're supposed to be laughing. What? 453. That was your phone number. I've been working on myself, and apparently the rest of the comments need to listen up too. I discovered there's a racist anonymous, and it's the opposite of what I thought it was for. I thought I could get better, you know? I wanted to learn some new slurs. No, racist anonymous is help. If you're trying to better yourself and be less racist, they're like, come here. We can work through your racism. Sometimes it's not even racism. Sometimes it's just prejudice. And I'm like, you got any good ones for Native people? Who are Native but don't look it? Like, fucking racist anonymous. I do go to AA Anonymous. Anyone else go to Alcoholics Anonymous? It's all good, it's anonymous. I'm coming up on 3 years of sobriety here. Thank you very much. And I love sharing that. I won't out the people who do it, but people will approach me and talk about their own issues. And like, Jeff, what was it like for you in the beginning? How can I maybe find some help for myself? Which I do appreciate. But there's been 5 separate cases when I'm helping people, when I'm directing them on where to get help in the city and community and what worked for me. It falls apart when they find out I never did cocaine. They're like, so you just drank? What, were you fat? Hold on, so your issue with alcohol was actually just the alcohol? I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, man? You never had a sleepless night? No, I was usually passed out somewhere. That's, what the fuck? You can't gatekeep struggle. They're like, hold on, but alcohol's just readily available anywhere. Safe consumption sites are just every bar. I have to go in a fucking dirty back alley at knife point with some guy grinding his fucking teeth. Would you lose your job? You get a DUI? It has also come to my attention, and reflect on your own if you will. When you tell a man that he has a good sense of humor, it means he's funny. When you tell a woman that she has a good sense of humor, it means you agree with the men that she thinks is funny. It was my wife who told me this. She's like, yeah, anytime you tell that a woman has a good sense of humor, it means you agree with what she finds funny. I was like, okay, prove me wrong. Be funny. And she wasn't. I don't know. There's one stinker in there. I also want to hit on this. The Winnipeg comedy community lost someone. Comedian Clayton Stewart passed away yesterday. We do have a GoFundMe available on the Winnipeg Comedy Showcases page. One story about Clayton. I saw him do stand-up one time, and he did a joke. And when I was brand new, I listened quite intently. His joke ended with his spirit name being farts too much in a pee-pee. So I was actually inspired by that, and I wrote the following joke. And if you know anything about me, this is what actually really started my whole stand-up journey. So if you will, in Clayton's honor, I'd like to share it. I grew up very native, and by that I mean on welfare. It wasn't until later in life that I really tapped into my indigenous spirit, my indigenous energy. I started giving back, working with communities, helping people, and I even started working with traditional medicines. When an elder took notice and said, Jeff, if you're going to do this work, I need to know your spirit's name. And I was like, I don't have a spirit name. And he's like, well, we're going to give you a spirit's name. We're going to sit in ceremony and I'll get one for you. And I was excited by this because at the time I was single. When I heard spirit name, I thought this would be a good way to flirt with girls. Give me a spirit name that's a little gangster, something a little sexy, you know? Man who hunts wolves with bare hands, or the buffalo puncher, you know, something. No, I sat in ceremony with this elder, and he pulled my name as if from the heavens above, and he goes, we will call you the Golden Baby Bear. I'm trying to pick up girls with golden baby bear. No, you can't even say golden baby bear. Like, it doesn't fit, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be like a golden baby bear. It's the gayest name. Anyways, rest in peace, Stuart. Thank you, good night.
Keep it going for the Golden Baby Bear, you guys. Yeah, keep it going for all the comics you saw tonight. You guys know it. We're here every single Tuesday. The beer is always cold, the wings are always cheap, the laughs are always plentiful.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you next time.